So where you from?
Originally New Orleans. I actually came up in '05 of Hurricane Katrina. I was 16 at the time, so my parents, my brothers, we went through the whole experience, living in hotels and whatnot. If you remember, there was a lot of fear at that time. People were unsure about how to accept all the new people and schools and where to place them. And no one really knew the answers to those questions. And so that fear kind of fell into community members. And I mean, I remember people saying, like, I wish you weren't here, like, you need to go back home, and so on. But there were also some really good pieces to the community as well, people that wanted to pitch in and help out. And I remember our family, we didn't have a lot of clothes, so we were standing in the checkout line buying clothes, you know.
Yeah.
And we had it pretty much piled up because the Red Cross had their check come through, and we had some old Navy cards, and well, we couldn't use those for that, but that came a little bit later. But we were at Ross. This is the particular thing I remember, and the lady in front of us was like, she looked back and she saw the pile of clothes, and she said, "Are you guys from New Orleans?" Mother was like, "Yeah." And so she looked at the cashier and said, "Just put it on my tab."
Said we have a great program set up for you this morning. Right now, we'd like for you to welcome a very special guest, Daniel Heydrich, with a welcome message and introduction.
Good commissioner for many reasons. I've run a business, service disabled veteran-owned shop here in Cobb for over 30 years. We got a great person, so I'm proud to be a part of her team.
Beloved friends and families and citizens of Cobb County, Martin Luther King once said, "Not everyone can be famous, but everyone can be great, because greatness is determined by service." It is our profound honor and privilege for us to be here, both present and witnesses on this historic occasion, the swearing in of Jerica Richardson, the first African-American female Democrat to represent District 2 and the youngest. Romans 13:1 encourages that we are to pray for those in power.
Also, we'd like to introduce to you Teresa Mahfood. She is a community advocate and attorney in Atlanta. Her focus is on diminishing racial and ethnic disparities in education, healthcare, and the criminal justice system. Matthews, please welcome Teresa Mahfood.
Good morning, everybody. This morning, I'm going to talk to you about the mental and moral qualities distinctive to an individual. We call that character. Everyone has their moments of loss, grief, depression, failure, rejection. But not everyone has a person that can support, inspire, and motivate, who considers an individual a priority over her personal interests. That has been my personal experience with Commissioner Jerica Richardson. If I get emotional, please forgive me. That this person honored here today, Jerica Richardson, is not just outstanding, honorable, kind, dedicated, and loyal. If she says she'll do something, she will. She'll sacrifice her personal gain for your personal success. She'll make time for you, even when she has no time, regardless of how busy she is.
Education, Dr. Howard.
Jerica, when she said connect Cobb, she wasn't just coming up with something that sounded cool. She really means it. We're talking about the Board of Commission, Board of Education, local municipalities, nonprofits, businesses. Imagine if we pushed on the same problem at the same time, in the same direction. This is how Jerica thinks. She thinks big, not with some lofty idealism where you really don't think about how to get there. No, she actually takes the time to strategize, not one way, not two, but several routes to get from point A to point B. She's selfless. She's imperfect like all of us, but she doesn't let her imperfections stop her from being a part of solutions. We need more people like Jerica.
At this time, I would like to introduce the Honorable Doug Stoner, longtime friend of Cobb County.
I'm a native, actually, of Cobb County. In fact, as it sounds kind of odd, and since we're talking about Cobb's future, but I'll tell you a little story as it relates to Cobb's future and how Jerica is a continuation in a tradition here we have in Cobb, and that is another native Cobb Countyan, Governor Roy Barnes, and I occasionally are out prior to the pandemic talking to folks, and we'll be on the same panel. And Roy talks about, we have a little stick that him and I do. Roy talks about how his family moved here in 1900 from the mountains of North Georgia, and how they've been here since the 1900s, and how his family started a general merchandise store, which is still down there in Mableton. So I usually come up after the former governor, and what I have to say is, well, these Johnny-come-latelys is the term I use with Governor Barnes, even though his family's been here since 1900. My family has been here since the late 1830s, at least some of it. So I've obviously, my service, I grew up here and I've stayed here and served my county in many capacities. But what that comment I'm making about the history of, say, Governor Barnes and myself is that we're actually the exception to the rule. And what I mean by that is that Cobb County has always been welcoming to new people and has generally shown a grace to accepting new folks to the community and encouraging them to get involved in the community, no matter where they're from or who they are, particularly considering our county commission is now all female, which is first historic in the history of our county. In fact, probably very few in Georgia. Not everyone gets a chance to do this. And that's very important since as you move forward in remembering that most folks in history in our country have never had a chance to serve in public office. So I know she's going to do a great job when it comes to that. Thank you all very much.
Good morning. It is my honor and pleasure to be here today in Cobb County. Full disclosure, I am not a resident of Cobb County, which gives me the distinct opportunity to also describe why Jerica's election in this county and to this commission is so important for all of Georgia. My name is Juliana Neilbauer. I am an attorney. I do corporate transactional work for largely tech companies and product-driven companies, innovators, and the individual owners of those businesses who might be a startup and grow something that's a dream, or might be a family legacy business or a larger business that they're coming in to run. So how do I know Jerica? Why am I? So Jerica and I actually met at a panel where she was moderating about product management, which is a fancy way of saying innovation. Jerica is always in the room. If I'm on a panel, every time I show up in a room where there's technology or innovation happening in Georgia, there's Jerica Richardson in the room too. And very quickly, we discovered that we are both thought leaders in that space. I discovered that she is also a business owner, that she's also a technologist like me. We're both software developers. We're self-trained, that we both had built businesses and seen them grow, that we both had the challenges of having to sleep while fires are burning. And you have to decide which one to put out today and which one to wait to put out tomorrow and still sleep at night. She has gone out in the world and put herself in uncomfortable situations to learn over and over and over again. We need some new voices, we need some new perspectives, but also we live in a time of change. Georgia's number 8 in the country for the migration into the state. I work as a delegate with the Georgia Department of Economic Development. I get sent around to different states to talk to companies from around the world that are thinking about relocating to our state. And Jerica is part of the generation of new residents to Georgia who are also educated here in our public schools. From I think middle school, but certainly high school, and then college. Jerica went to Georgia Tech, one of our flagship public institutions that we have invested in and will continue to invest in. For everyone on Zoom, I welcome you. Jerica Richardson is a commissioner who understands how the software that you are watching this through right now works. She could build something to improve it. And oh, by the way, she has before through her own tech company. She's the real deal. I've told you why she's talented, why she's smart, how she's done the work. Jerica has written the book. Did you know that she's written a book? Jerica wrote a book probably a decade ago. It's more than 500 pages. I own the book. And most political figures, most true politicians, write a first book about themselves. They write a book to tell you who they are. Jerica wrote a book to help you find out who you are, how to make yourself better and more effective, and how you can create community and projects and programs in your life. So again, congratulations, Cobb County. We look forward to watching what happens in Cobb County as an example for the rest of the state. And I look forward to supporting, and I commit today to support Jerica and her leadership and this commission as it tries to engage other county commissions and other leaders around the state. And I hope that we all will make that commitment as well. Thank you.
Thomas. Commissioner Ott was a driving force in the coordination with Cumberland CID in transforming the I-75 and 285 interchange by helping to attract the Braves Stadium. The presence of the stadium and surrounding business community has created a new identity and skyline for the area. His service started 15 years ago in zoning, when then the resident Bob Ott was keenly interested in what was occurring in his backyard. As a commissioner, his greatest contributions have been to establish master plans, encouraging greater community involvement, and worked to establish town halls, newsletters, and more. Former Commissioner Bob Ott.
Good morning, everyone. I see on the program it says my role is farewell and promise. For the farewell part, I really appreciate what Jerica put in the program, so thank you. I want to thank Jerica for asking me to be part of her big day. It's not often that the person leaving office is asked to speak at the ceremony for the person coming in, especially when they're aligned with different political parties. That is one of the special things about today. Today, we celebrate a smooth transition. My presence here today should be a sign to all that we have come together and accomplished one of the smoothest and most productive transitions I have seen during my 12 years in office. Thank you, Jerica, for joining me and helping make this transition a positive one. Tomorrow, Jerica will inherit the most dynamic district in Cobb County. As you can see, there are indeed many faces to the district. Where other commissioners may have a single town hall once a quarter, Jerica will more likely be having one a month as she works her way down through the district, just as I had to do. What she will find is an energized, well-informed, engaged group of citizens who will continually challenge her to keep them safe and secure, just as they have done with me over the last 12 years. Many will come to her town halls. I regularly had 100 to 150 people in attendance. They will email and they will call. And yes, they will call about potholes. And as you have heard, I am known to say that potholes do not have hearts, because residents don't care whether there's an R or a D next to your name. They just want them fixed. When the results of the 2020 census are released, Cobb County is estimated to have over 800,000 residents, which is greater than the population of 4 states. The district will be close to 190,000 people. In 2021, the overall county budget will be over $1 billion. Being a commissioner is a big job. Jerica will be only the 3rd person to hold the seat of District 2 Commissioner when the individual commissioner districts were created. I know that Jerica is up for the challenge, Jerica, I wish you the best and congratulate you on your new role.
At this time, I'd like to introduce Dr. McMorris for the introduction of Judge Hill. Dr. McMorris.
I know you would join me in congratulating and welcoming her to the stage as she swears in our newest District 2 Commissioner. Please welcome my friend, Judge Kelly Stevens Hill.
Good morning, everyone. Isn't this a wonderful occasion? All right, let's have some energy then. Okay, first let me thank our county manager, Dr. Jackie McMorris. Thank you, Doctor. She is my friend, and she is now serving us as a county, as our manager. And I couldn't be happier for that. I also want to thank Jerica for asking me to be a part of her really special and important day. It is my distinct honor and my pleasure to be here. Thank you. And before I call her up, I just want to acknowledge her parents. She's amazing, absolutely amazing. And it is my pleasure now to call her up as we administer the oath of office to this phenomenal woman who, this is the time is now. And so, having said that, Jerica, would you please join me up here?
In a nutshell, we are able as people to overcome our fear when we choose to connect with one another. When we choose to see one another for who we are, when we don't dehumanize, when we appreciate one another for everything that we are, whether it be our, how we look, how we think, how we walk, what we bring to the table, our experiences, and that's what builds those connections, and that's what allows you to overcome a lot. And when I look at right now, we have a lot of challenges. There's a lot of fear. That's that thing. It's that same lesson.
Know. Make it count. Sometimes they don't know. Make it count. Sometimes it gets tough. Make it count. Sometimes it's just not enough. Make it count. Sometimes it's divisive. Make it count. Sometimes they'll say you're too decisive. Make it count. Above all else, remember, Team Cobb, get creative. And what's right comes first. Politics comes later. I am just happy to embark on this journey with you. And even better, Cobb, we shall see it through. So those are just my opening words for my fellow commissioners. I'm really looking forward to serving with you. I wanted to commemorate this is that moment and welcome you and just grateful that you're here to join me today on this very special day. As a commitment, when I was on the campaign trail, you remember me talking about empowerment and connecting Cobb and making sure that the community had a voice represented. And so one of the things that came of that was to develop what I refer to as the Strategic Advisory Cabinet for the community. It's a community cabinet. And so those members of the audience who are part of that cabinet, would you please stand? These are the special pins that you will be awarded with at the end of this ceremony. But I did want to share with everyone, it makes a lot of noise right now, but I wanted to share with everyone the visual so that you can see them. So what does this cabinet truly represent? As you see these individuals standing amongst you, these are the individuals that I have pulled from our community, and I believe that they represent the best of bringing people together, keeping an ear close to the ground so that we can have comprehensive conversations about tackling different issues. So they are my arm, they are my friends, and hopefully they will be friends to you as a community as well. So there will be more of an announcement on that in terms of a formal communication on who is a part of the cabinet so that you can reach out to them. But they are just a liaison for the community so that you can always have your voice heard through our office. Please be seated. Next, I would like to acknowledge our county workers. Can all those who serve this county in an official capacity, whether it be as director or a part-time employee, would you please stand? Thank you. Teamwork. So, out of those that are standing, please continue to stand. Out of those that are standing, would Aqua, Josh Smith, Don Bortz, John Ridings, Jeff Costello, Ben Ivy, Justin Harris, Kim Flores, Damon Nasa, Michael Thomas, Scott McAuliffe, Greg Hall, JT Law, Ben Lingerfelt, Dean Wilkinson, Tanner Weiss, Matt Hobbs, Wendy Goss, Mario Henson, and Michael Brantley, please stay standing. And all others, please sit at this point. I just want you to know that the individuals that I listed off, and some of them you can see are kind of working behind the scenes, made it possible for today to even happen. We know we're going through this pandemic, and I got a call recently where someone actually caught COVID, and the Civic Center was short-staffed. Do you know what our county workers did? Do you know what our county did? They said, we're going to make this happen anyway. And they pulled resources, and they pulled on each other to still show up and still make this happen right here so that you could be seated comfortably. And I wanted to give special acknowledgement to them because that's above and beyond the call of duty. So thank you all very much for having that happen. And the other reason I wanted to bring it up is because I mentioned above and beyond the call of duty. All of our county workers go above and beyond the call of duty with the limited resources that they have. They care about Cobb County. We are so blessed here to live in a county with people that are committed to servicing us every single day, regardless of what it takes. I'm not the special one in this case. We all are as a community. They all go above and beyond to support us. So I just really wanted to drive that home because a lot of times the individuals that I've called out don't get the credit, don't get things that they truly deserve. So do know that we're very committed to openness, honesty, transparency, and even when these board selections are made, you will get your introduction to each and every one of them on probably a town hall or a Zoom or some combination thereof. So thank you guys for that. The second group that I really want to acknowledge are my family and my friends. My family and friends, please stand up. You want to know where my strength comes from? It's these people standing. Everyone that is standing up has been with me. They have contributed their time, their energy, their heart, their patience. I know I can be hit or miss every now and then, but I'm just so grateful for you all. Of course, my parents are here. As you all have heard them mentioned a few times. Got my brothers, their significant others, Daniel Santos, and my grandmother. If you read the program in the back, it's a selected Bible. That is our family. It's her Bible, but it has all of our pictures and cutouts in there, and she just keeps us in her heart every single day. And I thank you for everything. I really do thank you all for everything that you've done. And this is where we are today. This is the moment that's not just for me to celebrate, but it's for all of us to truly celebrate. And I do see some members of the campaign team as well. With regards to moving forward for District 2, I'm looking forward to truly connecting Cobb, making sure that we are working in partnership, that we have relationships that we're building, not just within the district, because District 2 also has a lot of disconnectivity where there needs to be a lot brought in terms of sharing of experiences and opportunities. But amongst the districts, amongst the district and the chair-elect, amongst the county commission and the board of education, amongst all of the different municipalities, there's so much room for opportunity. With our CIDs, so much room. With our economic community, our ecosystems. We have that opportunity today. One of the things every time there's a historical moment, it gives you that opportunity to recalibrate and set a new standard. Because everyone has the opportunity to reflect. And there's so much greatness that comes out of those pauses. I want you to feel the gravity of that. So my number one priority is making sure that at all times we are being collaborative, that we are being mindful of all of the different communities, all of the different voices. Now, beyond that, I do have a list of priorities. Very extensive list, if anyone's had a chance to see it. And that will be distributed as well. But there are 14 priorities moving into 2021 that go along with everything that you've heard everyone talk about, from transportation to working with the Board of Education to economic investment, and of course, some of the work that Commissioner Ott has started and really propelled. There's a lot of opportunity for us to work with. And we also know that there are some big issues that sometimes go unaddressed, like climate change, what can be done with environment and sustainability. And then, of course, the thing that's at everyone's top of mind, the reason why we're all separated out here and we have a lot of space, is, of course, the pandemic. We know that new legislation is coming down the pipeline, making the right decisions. And that is something that I'll be looking to do in community with you, because our commissioners did exceptionally well this last time around, and I'm looking for us to do even better next time around. Reflect on this moment. Reflect on what this means, and dream again. Dream of the possibilities, because this is our opportunity to, as I said, set a whole new standard. Release those chains of what happened in the past, or the hurts of what happened in the past. Open yourself up for that forgiveness, for that bridge building, for that opportunity to truly move forward together. A fresh, clean slate. That is what Cobb represents. We have greatness here, and we have more greatness ahead of us. Because as I would say on the campaign trail, we've got all the diversity, we've got all the talent, and we've got all of the challenges of being a metro county. That is greatness. So with that, we are going to do amazing, incredible things. And Eric, why don't you come up first?
Congratulations. I am excited to see you in this role because she did so well. So I brought her on board so I can keep that. But I appreciate the conversations we've had since your election. I look forward to working with you.
Chairwoman-elect Cupid.
Good morning, everyone, and good morning, Jerica. Isn't this a great day? Fellow Yellow Jacket who's with me on the stage. You don't graduate from Georgia Tech, you get out. look at what we got out of, and look what we are getting into. Isn't God great? But it is an honor, as you know, I've been to a number of these swearing-in ceremonies, and you see so much change and so much hope, and it's a beautiful thing. Every time I attend one, it just lets me know, yes, this is a joyous occasion, but it's also a bit of a somber occasion. Because I know for so many that I see that stand on the stage, there was something that pushed and prodded them to get up and run. When you work so hard to get to the table, you know when you finally sit down that it's never really been about you, but it's been about you including everyone else to the table, because that's how we truly make strong decisions that are reflective of our county. And I believe Jerica is going to do well in doing that because she gets it. I think for any of us that serve on this board, when we get that we are here to be a steward and conduit for those that we serve. We've got most of it right. You know, the hardest battles are the battles that we fight amongst each other sometimes. And we realize this is the work, and the work is not even here, the work is really out there. So just thank you, Jerica. Thank you for having me be a part of this day. We congratulate you on this accomplishment, and on you being inclusive, which is going to help move our county forward. Congratulations.
Thank you. Honorable Marilyn Blackburn.
So good morning. I'm Marilyn Blackburn. I'm a resident of Smyrna, Cobb County District for 20 years. Jerica, you and I have many things in common. See, you're from New Orleans, Louisiana. My parents are from New Orleans, Louisiana. You competed in this marigold organization, and not only that, but you're going to be the first and the youngest African American woman to soon be, or you actually are now, the Cobb County Commissioner of District 2. And I was the first African American to sit on the Smyrna City Council in 145 years. So we think big, and we work relentlessly to accomplish those goals. We both know that God orders our steps, and He places us where we are most needed. If I were to ask someone, when they hear the name Jerica, what would come to mind? I think this would come up. Irrational, exercising or having that ability to reason with people, even when you know that they didn't solve it. You're informative. Use the necessary tools to make sure that individuals have the information to make educated decisions. You're committed to the big picture, which is connecting Cobb. That's good and it's necessary in life. So, with that, this is how I will be your name describes you. And I'm honored to wish you nothing but the best and look forward to working with you. She said, surround your people. Surround yourself with people who empower you to be the absolute best. Anything else?
Thank you all so very much. I'm just very grateful and very happy. And I am going to introduce again Dr. Sherman Scott to give our benediction, who will go right before Frank again to let us release. So thank you all very much. That is my time.
We know that Jerica is truly a connector. Well, everybody, that brings us to our close. And I'd just like to
give a few words and remarks. I met Jerica many, many years ago, soon as she came in from New Orleans with her family. She was a classmate and a friend of my son's, and he said, "Dad, I got somebody I want to bring over." We were cooking out one Saturday afternoon. I don't even know if you remember. And I remember sitting down, talking, and being in awe at just the poise and intelligence of this young woman who I knew was going to do some special things. As I watched her grow and go to Georgia Tech and get out her book and do some other amazing things, I kept saying, what is going to be next? And I was almost floored when she called me and told me she was going to run for office. But I said, why not? I know you're going to change the world. So I am thankful to you, Jerica, and your family for allowing me to have that piece of you. And I look so forward to the change that you will help bring, not only to Cobb County, but to our state, and I know to the future of the United States and this world. So thank you. And to everyone in this room, thank you for sacrificing this day to come and join us in this very special occasion as we move this great county forward. Thank you very much. Have a great afternoon.